This is page 324, number 19, and I have this equation, 2y minus 2 is equal to 3 times the square root of y, that I'm asked to solve two different ways. So first, in part A, I'm asked to solve this by squaring both sides of the equation. So in order to do this, I noticed that I've got a radical, so what we learned in the last chapter, in chapter 6, was I want to isolate the radical, and I'll isolate the 3 as well, and raise it to, it's a square root, so I'll raise it to the second power, and I do that on both sides. And then I continue to solve. So when I multiply 2y minus 2 by 2y minus 2, I get the first term squared, which is going to be 4y squared, minus twice this product, so minus 2 times 2 times 2y, so that would be minus 8y, plus the last term squared, so plus 4, is equal to, and this is a 9, and then when I square it, and the square root of y when I square it is just a y, so I get 9y. So that's a quadratic formula, and I'll get everything on one side. When I subtract 9y from both sides, I get a negative 17y plus 4 is equal to 1. Oops, yeah, is equal to 0, sorry. So I'm going to try and factor this, and I could go with 2y and y, but because this is a 17, I think if I go with a 4y and a y, and I put a 4 here and a 1 here, I can use a 16y and a 1y to get a negative 17y. These are both negative, so those add up, and then negative 1 times negative 4 is the positive 4. So my solutions appear to be a positive 1/4 and a positive 4. However, because I've squared, I've raised something, taken something out of the root and squared it, sometimes you create extraneous roots by doing that. So I'm going to check both of these, and I'll do my check down here. First I'll check 1/4. So putting 1/4 into the original equation, okay, so this is 1/2. 2 times 1/4 is 2/4, so it's 1/2 minus 2, and the square root of 1/4 is 1/2, so 3/2. So this is 1/2 minus 2 is negative 1/2, or negative 3/2, and on the right I have 3 times 1/2, which is a positive 3/2, and those are not equal. So it appears that 1/4 will need to be rejected, and then we'll check the 4. So when I put a 4 into the initial equation, 2y minus 2, so 2 times 4 minus 2 equals 3 times the square root of 4. This is a 6 minus 2, which is a 4, and this is a square root of 4, which is 2 times the 3. Oops, sorry, this is 8 minus 2, which is 6, and then this is 3 times 2, which is a 6. So that works. So it appears that positive 4 is the solution. Okay, now in part B, they want you to go through and solve the same thing using quadratic form. So I'm going to first get everything on one side, and I'll put the highest power of y, which is y to the first, and then minus 3 times the square root of y next, and then minus 2 equals 0. So I'm going to look at this. If I look at this square root of y here being multiplied by the 3, I see that I just have a y to the first power here. So if I look at this as a 2 times that same function of x right there, square root of y squared, I think I can see that I have a square root of y here and a square root of y squared here to get this y. So I'm going to let u temporarily represent the square root of y. So then my equation is 2u squared minus 3u minus 2 is 0. Easy enough to factor to solve. So 2u and a u, and if I go with a 2 and a 1, I have a negative 4u, positive 1u. So that works out. So I get that u is equal to negative 1/2, or u is equal to positive 2. Now remember, my job wasn't to solve for u, it was to solve for the square root of y. So I will now back substitute for those u's. It was temporarily representing the square root of y. Okay, so on this, to get y solved for, I'm going to square both sides. So I get y is equal to, when I square negative 1/2, I get positive 1/4, just like I did here. And when I square the 2, of course, I get a 4, just like I did here. So this, again, initial solutions, we've already shown that this doesn't work. So, I would have the same 4 as my solution. And that's about everything you can do, every which way that you could work to solve number 19. And that's it. Was I not recording? I think I was. Don't tell me that this did not come out. Holy shit. How could this have not recorded? God damn it. I have to go back to the drawing board and do that again. Why is it fucking frozen?